What's going on, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here. I had to take a day off to get together. I gotta start this video over again. I'll just take that out. I'll just take the little curse word out, because you know you can't be cussing. And I gotta get this thing and fell on the floor. My notes. I hope everybody's doing well. Yes, I needed a day. Okay, she needed a day. Because I felt like, I didn't want to be down here just talking about nothing. I wanted to gather my thoughts, gather the day, gather the topics. You know what I'm saying? And then come down here and give y'all a little content. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put this. The sun is right in my face. Yes, come on, Solange. Now, if we would have got a Black Power song from Solange, it would have been more believable. Shout out to Solange Knowles. Yesterday was her birthday. I think the diva's 34 years old. I remember 7. So yeah, she's 34 years old. What else is going on? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. Even though if you don't leave a comment, just let me know you stopped by. Hey girl, just say hello while you passing through. Watch a little video, hit a little thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Get down in the comments. Have a little cocktail. Smoke a little reefer. Yes. Eat a little shrooms. Y'all microdose? And anybody? Oh, my phone is down there too, girl. She might have to get out the car and get that. Hold on. Let me turn. Hold on. Oh yeah, she got to get out the car. Hold on, y'all. Okay. And I feel like I got to move up a little bit. And I had the air on too. I should probably keep the air on. I'm down here a little early, so we got a little time. We got a little time to talk. All right. I want to put the window down, but you know how these bugs be trying to say, they be trying to stop by and say hello too. I'm like, girl. All right, so I hope everybody's doing well. Let me see, what we talking about? We have a few things to talk about. We have a few things. So I want to talk about, I just have an opinion on some things, a few things. So we can talk about those few things. And I could turn this car off and this air off. Okay. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was Emily B and Fabulous announced that they are having a baby girl, and I guess Fabulous posted the picture, posted something on Instagram. I don't follow him on Instagram. Posted something on Instagram, and he used the hashtag girl dad. Girl, what? Did you really do that? Like, that's what I'm saying. These niggas be pulling stunts and shows, because how the hell you a girl dad? And so I guess part of being a girl dad is knocking her mama in the mouth. Maybe that's what it is, and knocking her teeth out. I don't know. Like, I'm like, and then it's like, you don't want to talk about people in like toxic or abusive relationships, but I think it's important to say, like, after you get your teeth knocked out, you probably want to get your tubes tied if you won't stay, right? Because it's not just you that you're affecting. You are affecting children that have no choice but to be here because your stupid ass brought them here, right? And now you in this relationship, so now you having a girl, so you have, I don't know, like, I would have kept that to myself. Sorry. Congratulations, girl. D.L. Hughley, he fainted on the stage. They said he was exhausted, and he tested positive for COVID. And his son tested positive too, is what one of y'all told me, but he was asymptomatic. That's why it's so important, guys, because it's like, you don't know. Just be careful. Like, just be careful. And first of all, you shouldn't be out anywhere doing any comedy shows anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You should be at home. You should be doing a comedy show from your living room, if that's the case. Or like maybe they were 6 feet apart. I don't know, but I just don't think. I think so many people are so eager to get out, but it's like the next surge happened, And then also they closed schools in China. So it's like numbers are rising. And then Donald Trump is like, hey, if you, it's like, this is like, I'm like, is anybody listening to him? If you don't test, we won't have high numbers. So in other words, don't test the people so we won't have the numbers so everybody can think that everything is fine. It's like, what are you saying? You sitting up here saying, let's not test the people? Like, that's ridiculous. And it's like, does anybody, I don't understand why no one is not saying anything to him. Like, why is everybody being so polite to him? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Like, do you realize what you just said? Like, did you realize you said, if we don't test, we won't have the numbers. So let's give these people an illusion. It on top of what we're already watching is an illusion anyway, if we really want to get down to it. But let's put another illusion on top of the illusion so that these people are not getting this virus. And to me, I feel like a lot of these white people are around here. They don't want to wear their mask and everything like that. You know, they are descendants of the people who brought smallpox to the indigenous people, okay? So you can understand why they're fine with not washing their legs. They're fine with not wearing masks. They're fine with trying to cough on people. They're fine with that. They don't care. To me, I feel like let natural selection sort them out. If you want to be out, then go out. But you're just going to make it. I think people are upset that people are going out because it's just making it worse for people who are actually trying to stay at home. You know what I'm saying? It's actually trying to go out only for necessities, you know. And luckily they're allowing like dentist offices to open, doctor's offices to open. Like, I gotta go get my oil change. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go do stuff like that. I gotta go to the dentist and stuff like that. That's to me, I feel like necessities, right? Going to the club, it's not a necessity. It's really not a necessity. You're going to grow up and you're going to realize it's not really a necessity. It really is. None of it is. None of it is a necessity. So, I mean, I'm glad he's okay, D.L. Hughley, but now he has to quarantine. Everybody around him has to quarantine. Everybody's going on quarantine. So, because they've been around him, and it's like, you don't even know how long you've been exposed. You don't know how long you've had it. You don't know at what point. Are you on the 7th day? Are you on the 14th day? Are you on the 13th day? We just got to make sure that you're not spreading it. So hopefully he gets better. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, he apologized for his blackface, but Jimmy Kimmel, he went on vacation and he came back and he apologized for his blackface. Here's the thing, what I think about Jimmy Kimmel and all these people, all these white comedians doing blackface. At one point, if you look deep enough, a lot of them have done blackface in order to portray a black actor or another comedian. And I don't think that it's fair to penalize them for that, right? Today, right? You didn't catch it then, right? You knew it was bad, then it's been bad. But black people have never been okay with blackface. Black people have never been okay with blackface. I think now that with social media, everybody can collectively roar, than rather it be one or two people saying, you know, that's not cool that you did that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a collective like, no. You know what I mean? And so now you got to apologize. Yes, I want people to apologize. I do want them to apologize. I've always said, if there's patterns of behavior, then I'm not really digging your apology. We're all in the understanding that apology comes with changed behavior. Otherwise, you're just fucking manipulating me. If your behavior doesn't change and I accept your apology and you continue the same behavior, your apology means nothing, right? You can apologize all day, but if you keep trafficking little girls and grooming people to bring them R. Kelly, no, we don't believe that you've changed. We don't believe that you've changed from the person that we saw in the 90s. Your behavior is a pattern. Chris Brown, your behavior is patterned. We don't believe you, right? But now you're doing, when you come out with something and we see something, you did something in the past, like even with Russell Simmons, there was a pattern of behavior in that time, and he was never brought to, like, that whole thing, the way that it's unraveling. And I didn't even know that I follow Salai on Twitter, and I was looking at her, I was like, that's Salai, like, and her name is right there, Salai Abrams. I've been following her for I don't know how long. It's just her face looks different, and her hair is dark in her profile picture and stuff. But it, like, a pattern of behavior is what I'm saying. Back to Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. The blackface. Everybody knows blackface is wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Did he keep doing it? No. Did he come out and say, yes, you know, I'm sorry, this was wrong. I know it was wrong. I should not have done it. I was doing it for comedy. It was insensitive. I know better now. I know that it was wrong, and I apologize. Can y'all forgive me? Right? Now, if we see another Jimmy Kimmel with a blackface, we're going to be like, no. No, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? No. So, I feel like, and then at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide, are you going to accept the apology or not? Are you going to accept the apology or not? And what offense is unforgivable? You know what I mean? Like, after somebody's changed their behavior, like, that's why I was kind of bringing up Russell Simmons, right? I don't think, like I said in the previous video, I don't think that anyone is ever going to admit that they have committed sexual violence against another woman, right? I don't think that no man will ever admit that, like, oh yeah, I did that. Especially if they have changed their behavior, right? If I've changed my behavior and I regret my past, I'm going to apologize in a way where I'm not admitting that I did something wrong, but because I'm never going to admit that. I'm never going to admit that. Like, and I think that's where we kind of get stuck with these people, is like, you want them to come out and yes, I committed these acts of violence against women. No, that's not gonna happen. What I think we should look for is changed behavior. Now, do I trust that Russell Simmons moved to Bali and is opening a yoga school? No, I'm triggered as hell by that shit, because we know what happens in these yoga schools, right? Because you want to do better, you want to make people better, but you can't be abusing people in the process. Go watch that Bikram yoga documentary on Netflix. Go watch it, and you could see how that guru Zen centered personality brings people, because people, at whatever stage they are in their consciousness, they're looking for something. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for light. They're looking for someone to advise them. They're looking at, where do I go next? What do I do next? And when that person is offering you this yoga, which is such a beautiful thing, you tend to believe them and trust them. And those men are grooming those. And it's like, you listen to them, they're like, they almost couldn't say no to this person. They knew it was wrong. He was raping men and women, okay? They knew it was wrong. They knew that, like, oh my God, what did I just do? But this man is also so beautiful, and he's helping people with their lives, and you know what I mean? So it's like that conflict that so many people have. Like, I think it's fucking weird that he is opening a yoga school. When he said that on that Breakfast Club interview, I was like, what? And then, speaking of Breakfast Club interview, then Tidal and Revolt had a Black Lives Matter discussion. No women were there, and it was all men. And then Russell Simmons was there. And Mark Lamont Hill, you know what? You've been in the game too long, brother. You've been in the game too long to be surprised by a panelist. Okay? If I knew he was going to be there. And everybody is upset because there were no women there. This is what I say. If there were no women there, you know what it is. You stop talking to those people. What you do is you create you get a panel together of all women, people who identify as women, queer, whatever you want, just leave the men out of it. Apparently they don't want to be included. They feel like this movement is just for them. They should only speak to their issues and center the movement around them. So what you do is you recenter your focus and center it around women and center it around people and march for those people. If the men want to do what the heck they want to do, let them do that. Stop asking to be sitting at the table with them, because they ain't talking about shit anyway. Like, they really not. They really trying to, they just really want a comfort and support group. That's really all they want. So, because if they did, they would have created Black Lives Matter. If they did, they would have ran the Black Panther Party. Okay, because the women were running the Black Panther Party. If you really want to get into it. And they wouldn't let them, and it was the same bullshit within the Black Panther Party, trying to put the women to the back, trying to keep them, but they couldn't do it, because the women are, let me tell you something, you can't create nothing without a woman. You can't birth it without a woman. Your ideas, it cannot come to fruition without a woman. Do you understand that? Okay. So y'all can sit around your round table panel discussions forever and talk your heads off. Talk, share dick sizes, whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Your shit is not going to get off the ground until you have a woman involved. Period. And that's it. And if she has any sense, she'll charge you. Pay the lady. Pay the lady, like Leah's book. Pay the lady. All right, Five Bloods. Y'all want to talk about Five Bloods? I watched Five Bloods. Delroy Lindo, magnificent. He's a great actor. Like, I mean, he really is. I liked it. I thought it was on a scale of 1 to 5, like out of 5 stars. I would give it a 4.5. Why I take away the half? I didn't like the ending. The story with the brother who had the baby. I didn't understand why that needed to be, like, I understand why that needed to be a part of the story, but I didn't understand the development of the story in that way. I felt like it wasn't, the way that it ended, it was like, oh, he's coming there to say hi to the daughter, and they're hugging and they're walking off into the sunset together. Like, I didn't get that. Like, I didn't get that. And she didn't tell her that she was the daughter until later. Like, I just didn't understand that. But I love the footage. I love the, him having, I knew what happened to him. I said, oh, he's being haunted by his friend, because I know what he did, and I didn't think that it was on purpose either. I knew, I was like, oh, that was an accident. It was an accident what he did. You know what I'm saying? So it was good. Go watch. I'm trying not to spoil it, but I thought it was good. Culture Erasure. Someone gave a on our community page here. Hold on, I want to shout you out, because I was listening to Rodney and his co-host, his guest co-host. It was so funny. Hold on. Who was that? Shout out to John Bradford Jr. Yeah, cultural erasure. Now, the removal of statues, the removal of Uncle Ben's, Cream of Wheat, Miss Butterworth, Eskimo Pie, all of those things. And then some people being okay with, like, taking down statues, and then some people not being okay. First of all, white people and their history, a lot of the people that they have erected in statues are actual losers, right? So the idea, and I always think about it, it comes full circle for me when I think about, like, the educational system and how black people were made to compete. We had to create our own schools because these people didn't want us in their schools to get higher education. And then all the while, these people are really, like, just really, really base level, the epitome of mediocrity. And it's like, all this time we've had all of these black people, like, going to school, getting all these letters behind their names just so that we can compete against mediocrity. Like, the mind fuck in that is just so crazy. And you want to tear down these statues. I'm all for the when they tore down a Columbus statue, I forgot where it was, but they tore down a Columbus statue, and the people had grouped around it and were dancing around it, and like it was so symbolic to me, and I loved seeing it. I thought it was something that I wanted to see, and I took in the drums and everything, because it's just like, you cannot give reverence to somebody and put them in a statue. A statue is like, I want to give reverence to this person. This person was great. You can't even put you really can't even put up a statue of Gandhi if you really want to get down to it. When we deify these people, that's why I want, talking about deifying these people that are getting killed by cops, you got to be careful, because not everybody, not saying that they deserve to die, but not everybody should be deified. A statue cannot be erected for everybody. Everybody is not of great character. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that these statues are coming down, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And Mount Rushmore is one that is really tricky, because it's a sacred mountain and they carved into it, and you can't tear it down because it's sacred, right? Even though the colonizers came in and they got their white chisels and shit and carved white people's faces in the side of this fucking sacred mountain. Do you know how angry that makes me? That shit makes me so angry. And the fact that the only reason why people can't really fight back to those people, because they were like it's guns and the military. That's why they love the military so much, because the military has afforded white people to be able to go and just wreck shop through the whole fucking world. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm glad that these images are coming down. I love it. And it's like, what are we going to do? No, tell the story correctly. Now is the time to say this. Why was Aunt Jemima taken off of the cover of the syrup? This is why. Put it in a museum. Documented in a museum, but we're changing the cover. They don't want to change because her family doesn't want to change, or people from the family of the people who like modeled for it, they don't want to change because that's part of their legacy. Great. We think that's wonderful, but go buy a bottle of Aunt Jemima, take a picture, it'll be in a museum. We got to remove these images. Part of the reason why people believe what they believe about black people is because of the images that were put in media. And not only in media, on the side of cereal, on the side of a pancake mix, right? On the Eskimo pie. Like, there are images that are not good for the people who live. It's not just white people's world. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of the images of why people believe, it was pumped through media. The black face and caricatures of black people and stereotypical behaviors of what they said, how black people were dumb and slow and dirty and ignorant and lazy and all this other thing. You can't call a people lazy that built this country. You just can't. What's lazy is asking somebody else to do it for free. That's lazy. With a gun drawn on them. That's lazy. That's lazy. That's lazy. I thought to myself the other day, has there ever been a group of black people to get so angry with white people that you go in and just obliterate their town? Just tear down everything, light everything on fire, and just tear their towns down? Has there ever been there's been white groups of people to do that? I tell you, be mindful of allowing people to tell you that your people are inherently violent. They're not the ones that have caused the violence over this world. It's white people who have done that. And that's factual. And they know it's factual, okay? They know that they've killed more people than any other group in this world, in human history. They know that. They know that. That's why they're so protective of their military, because that's the only way they did what they did. That's the only reason. I'm all for all of these images being taken out. Take down Uncle Ben's Cream of Wheat, change it. So when people say, what happened? Well, in 2020, we had an uprising and we had to change it. There was, what started it? We saw cops after years and years, look at the crows, years and years and years of not seeing these atrocities and this terrorism that has come, that was in our neighborhoods by way of police. Like, we have domestic terrorist cells in every city by way of police, walking up to people and just accosting them. You don't think people have agency? I was watching Elijah McClain. I was watching that video. And that poor boy. I don't even know how old he was. I call him boy because when I look at his face, it was young, very innocent face. I don't know how old he was. If he was a grown man, I apologize. Sorry. But them walking up to him and just grabbing him and touching him and stuff like, dang, I don't have any agency over myself. You think you could just walk up to me because you're a cop and think you have the right to walk up to me and put your hands on me? No, absolutely not. Like, that whole shit needs to stop. Like, all of that stuff, that needs to, they need to dismantle. And just like I was watching somebody else's video yesterday, they say, oh, the crime went up in a particular place in Chicago. Crime is up every day in Chicago. More police does not equal less crime. You know what equals less crime? Resources for these communities. That's what equals. You can have people patrolling, but you don't need people policing. Just people walking down the street with a mask on because they are anemic and they can't get cold. And you walk up to them and start harassing them and roughing them up. Like, who the hell do you people think you are? I've always said, if you want to be a goddamn stone cold criminal, join the law enforcement agency, because you can do whatever you want. Like yesterday we were talking, all of these law enforcement, these officers that are involved in sex trafficking rings, that are the head that run sex trafficking rings, you out here asking these same motherfuckers, you asking them, help me find my kid. They found them all right, and they sold them. Yeah, they found them. And these people are now going around burning down houses where they know that sex trafficking is going on. So you get them out, pull them out, set the shit on fire, and arrest them as they run out. And protect the girls and the boys that run out. I'm all for it. Tear it all down. Take down, because you have to tell the story the right way. Take Columbus's down. So when people ask, why was the statue of Christopher Columbus torn down? Why was the statue of Robert E. Lee torn down? Why were these statues torn down? Then you have an opportunity to tell the real story. It was torn down because he didn't discover shit. He didn't discover anything. That's why it was torn down. Robert E. Lee was torn down because he lost. He is a loser. That's why it was torn down. If you are upset because your great aunt or whatever is no longer on the back of a syrup bottle, well, here's the history behind it. Here's the history behind it, and here's why we had to take it down. Because the images are detrimental to us in our livelihood. People look at these images and believe that all of us are like this. Like, we're the only group of people, well, really people of color, and are the only group of people who have, one person has to speak for the whole group. One ignorant white person, they're like, oh, that don't have nothing to do with me. They're very individualized, right? And that's what it is. What else? What else is going on? This young lady that was a young soldier, Vanessa Guillen, she in Fort Hood, Texas. She's been missing for 2 months. She had shared with, this is the reason, she had shared with her mother that she was being sexually harassed by her sergeant. She didn't want to tell anyone else because she was afraid of repercussions. This is a woman who is going into the military to fight for the freedom of her country, only to be sexually harassed. Now she's missing. These people go missing, and what's really crazy about it, they thought they found her because they found skeletal remains on the base. So who the hell is that? Because they say it's not her. So who the hell is that? So they're looking for this girl because they don't know. She's been missing for 2 months. Her mother was on the dam in the podium yelling at the people saying, you need to find my daughter. If you don't find my daughter, I'm burning the base down. Period. And that's it. It's coming down. Because how the hell is my daughter missing and she's supposed to be in the military? But you know what? That's not something, it's not new. If we looked into the books of the military, we would see that a lot of this shit goes on. It's disgusting. The military, the same thing they protect so much, the same thing they use to terrorize other countries, sovereign countries. I'm telling you, this country is crazy. I be trying to tell y'all this country's crazy. T.I. is scheduled to speak at Clark Atlanta University. When I saw the headline, I was like, what? Speak to who? But it's supposed to be on the business of trap music. So they say that he is the creator of trap music. That's debatable, I guess, depending on where you're from. So T.I. couldn't teach me shit. T.I. couldn't teach me how to rap. Okay? He couldn't teach me how to write a rhyme. He couldn't teach me shit. And I was thinking about T.I. and Tiny and how I wanted Family Hustle off of the TV, but I said, no. They need to be kept on TV because you need to see an example of what toxic parenting looks like. I can't even bring myself to watch the episode with Deja going through that. I saw the clips, right? But I didn't want to watch it because Tiny, the way that she supports Tip in his toxicity is so, it makes me want to literally, it makes me sick. It makes me want to vomit. And all that I cannot believe that you believe that just because that's not your daughter, that you shouldn't tell her father that what he's doing is wrong. That's not my daughter. Remember I told y'all people don't take care of kids. They don't take care of kids they don't believe that they own or have. They don't believe that they own. They don't. And Tiny is exhibiting that behavior. Why wouldn't you tell? Unless she thinks that what he's doing is okay. I think it's disgusting. They're like, oh, well, that's the signs of an abusive woman. No, she looks like she's fine with what, like she is an agreement, not an agreement by force, but like, I agree with that. I agree with his stance. I don't know what where that ignorance comes from. I don't know, but it's disgusting. I could not watch T.I. and Tiny show. Like I said yesterday, when I first started thinking about it, I was like, I want that show off because I don't want to be entertained by toxic parenting. But no, people need to see what that looks like. People need to see, and kids need to understand there are a lot of two-parent homes where the father is toxic. It's worse that he's there. Ask a lot of people, not all two-parent homes are rainbows and Skittles and unicorns, girl. It's not. Some of these men are in the homes, terrorizing their children, and the mom just sitting there and allowing it to happen. Ask these adults who came from two-parent homes how their father acted and how their mother just sat around and let them do it, acted like a damn fool, a drunk fool, an ignorant fool, a narcissistic fool, just ignorant. And the women just sit there and let them do it. Tiny should be ashamed of herself. Tip should be ashamed. I heard that he said he apologized, but when she said that I can't talk to him because he becomes the victim, your daughter can't stand up for herself because once she does, you victimize yourself. How? What kind of, and the fact that T.I. is 5'8", that shit just really like, nigga, what? Nigga, who the fuck are you talking to? First of all, that's number one. Let's start there, nigga. Who the fuck are you talking to and telling what to do? Honey, it couldn't be me. It could not have been me. I did want to talk about Claudia Jordan and Tammy Roman. That's the last people I'm going to talk about. Claudia talked about Desiree Washington. That was her friend, and she was a hostile witness in the case against Mike Tyson and his rape case. That's another person. Mike Tyson, has been violent. Mike Tyson is a different person now. If you listen to Mike Tyson, I attribute that to him taking mushrooms. I really do. When you listen to him talk about his experience after taking mushrooms, I believe that it actually opened up his mind and it changed who he was. I believe that. When I look at Mike Tyson, I believe that. Do I think that he's capable of doing what he did to Desiree Washington and to other women who probably have never come out? Yes. Everybody is capable of doing something. No one is incapable of not doing anything. Sorry, everybody. I'm tired of giving people the benefit of the doubt. Nigga, you did it. I believe that you have the capability to do it. Like Carl Crawford. I don't know what's going on with him, but I think with Carl Crawford, every time I see him and I look at him, it's going to end with him killing somebody. That's how it's all going to end. He is going to end up killing somebody. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Tammy Roman and Claudia Jordan. Tammy Roman has been known to kind of, back up the men. You know what I mean? Like, like when she did with Chad and Evelyn, right? Now, whatever your opinion is about that, right? About what happened between Chad and Evelyn, the fact that Tammy sat across from her and told her she was lying. So Tammy Roman is that type of chick, right? That one that centers men, right? They center men in the well-being. They center men. It's about the man. You lied. You did this. You did that. It's about the man. So for her to come out and say that, oh, this is not something that we should be talking about right now. No, Tammy, that's the reason why this shit has continued for so many years, because people are afraid to talk about things. Yes, can Claudia bring it up? It is relevant. Yeah, if I'm telling a story about what happened to me, yeah, I was a witness in the Mike Tyson rape case. I was. And he was hostile. I'm going to tell you what happened at that time. Claudia's like, it's unforgivable what he did. It's unforgivable. I don't give a... Claudia's in the mind frame. I don't give a damn how many shrooms he ate. I don't give a damn if his brain opened up and they put a diamond in the middle and closed that shit back up. I don't give a fuck. It's unforgivable. Right? Right? So she can talk about it. She can talk about how she stood up for her friend, and other women should listen, because a lot of women don't stand up for their friends. Just like that young lady who died at from Clark Atlanta. Was it from Clark Atlanta? Alexis Crawford, that was killed by her friend's boyfriend, because she went to her friend and said, your boyfriend raped me, and their response was kill her, put a bag over her head. So Claudia's right. I'm going to stick up for my friend. I'm going to sit on the stand and I'm going to be a witness for her. And I could talk about it years later, and you're not going to tell me to shut up. Tammy Roman, you shut your ass up. You always want to protect some man. You always want to, oh, don't say anything. You know how many times people have been told, don't say anything. Don't say anything. The thing with Russell Simmons, don't say anything. He's done so much for the industry. No, motherfucker, he's raped people. What are you talking about? Don't tell people to be quiet. Don't tell people not to tell their stories. While you want to be up here uplifting the man and centering the man around the reasoning as to why you should silence this woman who wants to tell her story. No, get that shit out of here. We done with that. That's some old 1970s baby boomer shit. That's how baby boomers act. And Tammy is a baby, but she's right at the end. Right at the end. Right at the end. How old is Tammy Roman? 52? She might be. I don't know how old. Let me see how old Tammy Roman is. She's one of them old type of chicks. You know, Tammy Roman, how old is she? 50. Exactly. 50 years old. You one of them, you like in the gray area, baby boomer to Gen X. You an old Gen Xer. You still carry those baby boomer ideologies where we don't say nothing. We have to protect the man. They just killed a black man. Don't talk about the black man who raped you, because they just killed a black man. We supposed to be over here marching and shit for this black man. Don't talk about the ones over here who are committing violence. That's the reason why black on black crime is so high, because black men are committing violence against black women. But that's another conversation for another day. But you're not going to tell Claudia to shut up or to be quiet. You shut your ass up, bitch. That shit pissed me off. You always want to speak up for the goddamn man. Fucking bitch. Carl Crawford, you watch how that story ends, and mark my word, mark this video. Y'all take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.